Since I've changed the law, what's happened? I've changed it in a way that now you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border illegally. It's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
Hey, gossip aficionados. Buckle up, because today, we are diving into the juicy details of the 2024 Trump versus Biden debate. Get ready for a rollercoaster ride through the highs, lows, and downright shocking moments from this epic showdown. We are spilling all the tea on Biden's disastrous performance and Trump's triumphant return to the spotlight.
Was a disaster.
Joe Biden's age, of course, was already a talking point before the debate. Was amplified.
Let's get started. Biden's performance, a senile spectacle. Oh boy, where do we even begin with Biden's performance? The man looked utterly lost on stage, a true senile mess. It was like watching a train wreck in slow motion. Biden had this cringe-inducing 14-second freeze that left everyone in the room squirming.
For what I've been able to do with the with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
His voice was raspy, his gaze distant. He just couldn't keep it together. This wasn't just a bad night for Biden. It was a catastrophic display that had even the most loyal Democrats questioning his ability to continue. This isn't the first time Biden has shown signs of cognitive decline. Remember the time he forgot the name of his own Secretary of Defense? Or when he bizarrely referred to his VP as President Harris? These moments have become all too frequent and were glaringly evident during the debate. Biden's performance was so bad that it had some Democrats openly speculating if he should step aside before the convention.
These two guys hate each other. Look, no handshake. Biden glanced at Trump, who stared straight ahead. The stage was spare, just the candidates and the moderators. Right out of the
His incoherent ramblings were painfully evident when he tried to make a point about tax hikes on billionaires. Instead, he ended up saying, "We finally beat Medicare," leaving everyone scratching their heads. What he probably meant was his victory over Big Pharma on drug prices, but the connection was lost in his muddled thoughts.
Look, if
Biden's inability to stay focused distracted from any legitimate points he might have had. Instead of discussing his legislative achievements or plans for the future, he spent the night trying to piece together his thoughts. It was a sad display, underscoring the growing concerns about his mental fitness for office. In conclusion, Biden's debate performance was a disaster of epic proportions. His cognitive decline was on full display, raising serious questions about his capability to lead. The Democrats are in a tough spot if they continue to back a candidate who seems increasingly out of touch and out of his depth.
I can tell the difference between someone.
Trump's performance, a masterclass in dominance.
From D-Day, and I spoke all about those heroes that died. I went to the World War II cemetery, World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was standing with his four-star general, and he told me, he said, "I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers." My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the loser.
President Trump?
First of all, that was a made-up quote, suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these magazines. He made that up.
Now let's talk about the man of the hour, Donald Trump. Love him or hate him, you've got to admit he knows how to command a stage. Trump came out swinging, unapologetic and ready to rumble. He made bold claims, some of which were over the top, but hey, that's classic Trump for you. What really stood out was his unwavering confidence and his ability to deflect and counterpunch. Compared to his previous debate performances, this was Trump at his best. Remember the 2016 debates where he decimated his opponents with sharp jabs and quick comebacks? This was no different. Trump's ability to turn the spotlight back on his achievements, despite the media's attempts to focus on his controversies, was nothing short of masterful. Trump didn't hold back on criticizing Biden's cognitive state, and honestly, who can blame him? Biden practically handed him the ammunition on a silver platter. Trump's jabs were sharp and effective, highlighting the stark contrast between a strong, decisive leader and a bumbling, confused opponent. It was a masterclass in debate strategy.
Jungle of North Korea, all of these, Putin, they don't respect him, they don't fear him, they have nothing going with this gentleman, and he's going to drive us into World War III.
You want a World War III, let him follow and win.
However, let's not ignore the elephant in the room, Trump's pro-Israel stance. It's one area where he loses some points in my book. His unwavering support for Israel has been a sticking point for many of his supporters who feel that America's interests should always come first. But even with this criticism, Trump's overall performance was strong enough to keep his base energized and ready for the fight ahead.
Biden scored off of Trump, and he said malarkey, and he said he's got the morals of an...
And here's the kicker. While Trump is undoubtedly a powerhouse, there's someone who could be even better, Nick Fuentes. Imagine a president who's not only as bold and unyielding as Trump, but also shares our values on issues like seed oils and Palestine. Fuentes would be the perfect successor, taking Trump's legacy to the next level and addressing those areas where Trump falls short.
And when I said that, I meant it. We're going to do that.
Democratic reaction, panic and disarray.
So far from the huddle that he had with his family at Camp David today is that he has...
The aftermath of the debate was a sight to behold. Democrats were in full panic mode, scrambling to make sense of Biden's disastrous performance. It was like watching a ship sinking in real time. Van Jones, a well-known Democratic analyst, practically begged for Biden to step aside, expressing the heartbreak and frustration felt by many within the party.
I'll give you the analysis. You kind of have the old man versus the con man. I can walk you through how I'm supposed to see it and say it, but I just want to speak from my heart. I love that guy. That's a good man. He loves his country. He's doing the best that he can.
Former Democratic Senator Claire McCaskill's reaction summed it up perfectly: pure heartbreak. She was inundated with messages from terrified party donors and members of Congress, all expressing their dismay. Biden's cognitive mishaps distracted from what should have been the main story: Trump's own deficiencies and controversies. The post-debate analysis on left-leaning networks was a brutal takedown of Biden. Columnists from the generally friendly New York Times ran headlines like, "President Biden, it's time to drop out," and "Biden cannot go on like this." It was clear that the Democratic establishment was grappling with a serious crisis of confidence in their candidate. This isn't the first time Biden's fitness has been called into question, but this debate seemed to crystallize those concerns.
We're literally an uncivilized country now. He doesn't want it to be. He just doesn't know. He opened the borders. Nobody's ever seen anything.
The Democratic Party, once united behind their candidate, now appeared fractured and unsure of their path forward. The possibility of Biden stepping aside before the convention seemed more real than ever. In the end, the Democratic reaction to the debate was one of panic and disarray. The party is in turmoil, with its future hanging in the balance. It's clear that they need to find a way to address these concerns quickly, or risk facing a resurgent Trump campaign head-on. In conclusion, the 2024 Trump versus Biden debate was a spectacle for the ages. Biden's disastrous performance, Trump's commanding presence, and the Democratic panic that followed made for a night of high drama. As we look to the future, the possibility of a Nick Fuentes presidency looms large, promising a new era of leadership that addresses the shortcomings of both Trump and Biden.
Donald Trump.
I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe, as I will continue posting only the best celebrity and K-pop content. This was Watch Wave, and until next time, have a good one.
Medicare, he beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare because all of these people are coming in. They're putting them on Medicare. They're putting them on Social Security. They're going to destroy Social Security. This man is going to single-handedly destroy Social Security. These millions and millions of people coming in, they're trying to put them on Social Security. He will wipe out Social Security. He will wipe out Medicare. So he was right in the way he finished that sentence. And it's a shame. What's happened to our country in the last 4 years is not to be believed. Foreign countries, I'm friends with a lot of people, they cannot believe what happened to the United States of America. We're no longer respected. They don't like us. We give them everything they want, and they think we're stupid. They think we're very stupid people. What we're doing for other countries, and they do nothing for us. What this man has done is absolutely criminal.